I just wanted to feel strong. I wanted to feel like nobody could hurt me physically. I wanted to feel like nobody could hurt me emotionally. And I wanted to build myself up. And I was just tired of being tired.
Welcome to Healthier Me, a show that highlights the health journey of everyday individuals in Saginaw who have chosen to take the steps to be well. I'm your host, Alexandria, and today I'm being joined by Mariette MacArthur. After a troubling relationship, Mariette decided to take action and work towards healing. This mom of two beautiful daughters transformed her mind, body, and her spirit after making one decision. Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So when I kind of reviewed or got some background about your story, I think what came up for me was like a phoenix. Like that was the image that I saw in my head. And I was like, wow, she really rose from the ashes. You know, it's like this renewal. So let's dive into your story. And I want to start off by looking at this photo of you.
Okay.
So when we look at this, I want to know who was that woman on the left who's sitting there at the table smiling. Who was she? What was her mindset?
I would say that is what depression looks like. That is somebody who's not excited about life, not excited to get up in the morning, doing things for other people and never worrying about myself, never doing anything for myself.
Even with the smile on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And it's crazy. I don't know. I'm thinking about like social media when they show like the mask that people wear, and it's like you put this mask on, but behind it there's this story and possibly even hurt at the time. So what time period is that? Like what year? How many years ago?
Was 2022, I believe. And yeah, it was still trying to do things with a smile and acting like everything was okay and lying to myself and pretending that everything was okay. And it was not. I was in a really bad relationship, and no matter what I did, nothing got better. And it was not a good time in my life.
So how long were you in that space?
About 2 years.
2 years.
About 2 years.
And in like this depressive state.
Yes.
So what was life like before then?
Life before that, I was married to the father of my kids. And that, for a while was really good. I was a stay-at-home mom. I love being a mom. That's my favorite thing about my life, is my daughters. And, then I got divorced and then immediately went into that bad relationship and kind of lost sight of everything for a while.
Wow. Okay. So you were married and then you got into another relationship.
Yep, after.
So talk about the relationship that you had with yourself.
It was not good. It was just beating myself up every day, never thinking that I was going to feel good or happy. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of negative self-talk all the time. It was all I could do to do the things that I had to do each day. I didn't have, other than my daughters, I didn't have anything for myself that brought me joy. It was just really a dark time.
And you said you were a stay-at-home mom. So were you how long were you a stay-at-home mom?
About 5 or 6 years I was a stay-at-home mom. And then when I got divorced, I had enough college credits I could be a substitute teacher. So that's what I did past 3 years.
Wow. So 5 years. Now, what was life like? I mean, did you have a friend group or anything? Like, was there any outlet for you?
There was not. And it was I had my mom's amazing. My mom's my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter. My mom's the best. And I had her, and I had a friend from childhood, but she lived in Florida. So I didn't have any girlfriends at the time to talk to or go do things with. Especially when I was in that bad relationship, you become isolated. That's the point of those kind of relationships. So I didn't have anybody other than my mom. And I think had I not had my mom, I don't even know where I would be.
So are you only child?
No, I have a sister, but she lives a
Okay.
few hours away.
Okay.
So
So you're pretty isolated, it sounds like.
yeah,
From
yeah.
a lot. But kudos to your mom being there.
Yes.
So this relationship that you didn't really have a good relationship with yourself, and it shows up externally
Yes.
by being in a relationship that was pretty toxic.
Yes.
So we're going to kind of go into that too, but transforming your body isn't easy. And looking at that photo, I mean, you're talking about from depression to now just living, I think, maybe your best life.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yep.
what happened that you said, okay, I want to make a change?
I woke up, I got out of the relationship, and I woke up one day and I said, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I felt in that relationship, I felt weak. I felt like somebody who always thought I would never put myself in that position. And I just wanted to feel strong. I wanted to have something of my own, something that made me happy. And I just wanted to feel strong. I wanted to feel like nobody could hurt me physically. I wanted to feel like nobody could hurt me emotionally. And I wanted to build myself up. And I was just tired of being tired.
Tired of being tired.
Yeah.
So you just decided to walk away one day.
Yes. Yep.
Wow. So I have to ask, I mean, I know abuse comes in different forms. I mean, there's mental, there's verbal, emotional, physical. And you were in this abusive relationship with your significant other. What was the warning signs, if any?
I think the isolating, anytime there was something that I wanted to do with, if my friend was in town or with even with my family, some big catastrophe would happen in his life that I couldn't possibly leave him at that moment. And I had to stay there and be there for him. And it was just very slow. And I didn't really realize what was happening until I was out of it. But every time that I wanted to do something, there was a reason we couldn't. So there was nothing for me left except for him.
Wow. Wow. That is intense.
Yeah.
So it started off with isolation.
Yeah. Yep. And then, there was, you get mad and punch walls and yell and just not a normal reaction to things.
May I ask, was that something that your children seen? I mean, what was they thinking or saying to you, maybe?
Well, thankfully, he was very good at when we were around other people and my children, he didn't act like that. So they did not, thank God, see any of that. It was when they were at their dad's or, with grandma for the evening, then things like that would happen.
I don't mean to go so deep in, but I guess this is a conversation about health journey and health. Our health journey looks different for everybody. Every conversation I've just had, even in the show alone, has looked different.
Yeah.
And so with yours, your journey started after this situation.
Yes.
So, that treatment of your well-being, I know people tend to look for ways to cope. What was some of your coping mechanisms that you had maybe during the relationship and feeling isolated? Did you have anything that you were doing to cope?
Food.
Yeah.
Just making myself feel good that way. We would drink a lot. Just mindless, sitting on the couch watching TV and eating. So those were my unfortunate coping mechanisms.
Yeah. Wow. And so I guess, just even talking about those situations, because I'm sure there's people out there right now who are experiencing things like this. I mean, domestic abuse and violence happens worldwide.
Yes.
And so I think when someone may hear a story, they may say, why did you stay? So I want to ask you, or I would love for you to talk about your reasoning for why you stayed.
You know, that's something, and I go back to, like, I never thought I would be that woman who was in a relationship like that. I always thought I was stronger than that, and I would never, ever allow things like that. And it is so slow, like I said a few minutes ago. It happens so slow, and you don't really realize how bad it is until you're out of it. It's not normal for somebody to get mad and punch things around you, and it's not normal for them to scream at you for something silly. You know, even being on my phone, like everybody sits and scrolls on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. I would get, I don't want to say in trouble, but it would start a fight.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, oh, well, he just wants to have my attention and not be so consumed with social media. And looking back, it's like, no, that's not okay. If I want to sit and scroll on my phone for an hour, that's fine. It's so slow, you don't realize that it's happening.
Yeah.
And then at the point, you know, when bigger things happen, like the punching of the walls and other things like that, I kind of feel like you're in so deep that you're making excuses for that person. Well, they still love me, and they say all these wonderful things, and you're not I wasn't in a great space with myself and who I was as a person, where I thought I deserved better than that. And I thought, well, he loves me. It's okay. And it's not true. And once I got out of it and found my worth, then I'm like, oh, that was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't deserve any of that.
And you say you were in so deep, right?
Mm-hmm.
And someone that we were just talking to, we're talking about not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in so deep. How do you get out? Like, I know you said you just got up one day and said, okay, I'm done. But was it literally that, or?
It really was. It was like just all of a sudden a light bulb went off, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. Like, I really got to a point where I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I didn't want him. It was him or me. I didn't want him to wake up. I didn't want to wake up. And I couldn't do it anymore. And it was like, I need to take my life back. And it was just this aha moment of, I can't do this.
Yeah. Oh, kudos to you for walking away.
Thank you.
Getting out of there.
Thank you.
So you out of this situation, and now you're looking at yourself, I'm assuming, and you're saying, okay, I want to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Were you always a person who worked out, or had a fitness background?
Not really. I went to the gym I currently go to, CrossFit Whip, when I was married for a while. And it was something when I had quit just from the divorce and then the new relationship, I always thought about. I missed it. And so when I got out of this relationship, I thought, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to do that for myself. And I remember I called my mom and I said, I want to do this again, but I need your help because I need someone to watch my daughters when I go. And It's an hour. And I said, I'm going to go right after school, and it's an hour. I need to do this for myself. And my mom agreed, and I have gone almost every day. I think I go too much sometimes.
Oh, that is so cool, though.
Yeah.
So you were a part of that community beforehand.
Yeah.
How did you join, or what made you join the CrossFit Whip?
Initially, I think they were doing like a 6-week challenge, and I think that's how I got involved in it. And I had just had my younger daughter, and so I wanted to lose the baby weight, and I really got into, I want to see how much I can lift and getting strong and seeing that muscle definition. Like, that was really cool. So when I left, like I said, it was always something that was in the back of my mind that I wanted to go back and do. And I thought, after leaving that relationship, what a better way, because I felt at my weakest point in life ever, when I left that relationship, and I thought, what a better way to make myself feel strong than to get physically strong. So
I think, I don't know, what comes up for me is your reasoning as to why you were working out? Because you were a part of the community before, but it was just a matter of like, oh, I just want to lose a couple pounds. And then that mindset changed.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people out there who are going through their own fitness journey, like sometimes you're in the gym and you're going really hard, and then maybe for a season you're not. And I think your life kind of shows that, like,
It does. Yeah.
trajectory.
And it went from vanity reasons to more of like the mental health and, you know, finding my inner strength as well as physical strength.
That is so good. That is so good. So you were already a part of the CrossFit WHIP community. A lot of people have been talking about CrossFit. So talk about that community. What is it like?
Well, I
For
mean,
you.
I'm obsessed. It's been amazing. The community is just so good. I will go in there. I'll have had a bad day, and I have like my regular 4 p.m. friends, and some of whom are like my best friends now. And I'll go in and I'll be sad or angry or upset about something, and I leave and I'm just so happy, and I've never walked out of there sad. And it's just everybody there wants you to do well. It's the only place I've ever been where if you're the last person, everybody's standing around you cheering you on. And that's just kind of the vibe of CrossFit is like, we want everybody to win. We want everybody to do well. We want you to do your own personal best. And it's, you can really start anywhere. You can modify anything. Anybody can do CrossFit.
I think I'm a little scared from seeing photos. And I would like to look at your photo of you. Like, talk about that one. Like, how much weight were you even pulling right there?
I'm not sure how much that is, but deadlifting is my favorite.
Okay.
My current max is 305, which I like to joke in my head like, oh, I could deadlift my ex-husband, but not.
No, you couldn't, right?
I could. I won't. But yeah. So I just think, you know, when you feel really weak and you go in and you can lift weight like that, you can't help but feel empowered.
Yes. And that is an empowered woman right there.
Yes.
Talk about that mindset. How many pounds have you lost? You know, because it's only been, 2 years now, right?
We're coming up on 2 years.
2 years out of that relationship.
Yeah.
So talk about this transformation that you've went through. What is that mindset now? Looking at that woman right there.
That woman right there believes, and I'm going to get choked up. She believes wholeheartedly in herself. And nothing anyone can say or do, I feel like, can hurt me anymore. I know who I am. I know what I deserve out of this life now. I go after things that I want to try. You know, I just got a new job. I don't think I would have ever even had the confidence to apply for. I've run races. Like, this was the girl who couldn't run a mile. You know, I love my life, and I look forward to every day now, and it's the most beautiful thing.
Oh, that is so beautiful. One of the guests said, you know, if you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, just turn. Just make a turn. And it sounds like you've made several turns.
Yes.
That is amazing. I love that photo. Like, you're just showing your strength and everything. And this huge transformation.
Yeah.
Wow. So after going through these different versions of Mariette, you know, what piece of advice would you give to your young daughters?
Oh, I would tell them there is no ceiling, that you can do or be anything that you want to. And especially for my daughters, my blood runs through them and we're strong. Like, you might get knocked down, but you're going to get back up and you're going to get better.
And your mom was a big support for you, and I can only imagine how much of a support you are for them.
Yeah. I hope so. That's the goal.
Yes, that's good. And so, you know, what are you most excited about as you continue to take the steps forward, for healing and growing? Like, what are you most excited about?
I think just to see what I can do. I signed up for a half marathon at the end of October. So I guess a marathon next.
That is awesome.
I want to do a pull-up. I still can't do a pull-up.
Yeah,
So.
same. I'm with you. I can do an assisted one, right?
Yes. So that would, and I really want to give my daughters the best life possible. And I want them to just look and be like, wow, like mom's amazing. And I want to love my life and be a good mom.
I love that you love your life. A lot of people kind of don't, I think a lot of people are kind of just like living and it's just like flatlined almost.
Yeah.
And we go through things and that's what life is about. And so you've really transformed. And I don't know if we even touched on it, but looking at that before and after, how many pounds did you lose?
Oh, I think about 45 now.
45 pounds. Now, I know you said it's not vanity anymore, but is there a goal for you as far as like getting to a certain number, or is it just?
I mean, I still have a number in my head, but I think it's more so like I want to do a pull up and I want big arms and muscular legs and I want to run a marathon and we always do this hero WOD on Memorial Day called the Murph. And I would love to someday do the Murph. We call it as written. So as it's written, that's how you do it. You don't have to modify. So I feel like while there's still a number in my head, my goals are more like I want to see how far I can push myself and how many things that I set a goal and I can accomplish that goal more so than,
Yeah.
And then the number too has changed, when we're young and like, oh, I want to be 120 pounds. No, I want to be 170 pounds and it's muscle. And,
Yes,
so
it's very big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you've gone through this fitness journey. You've gone back to CrossFit. At any point in these 2 years, coming out of that relationship and coming out of a divorce, did you go to therapy or anything like that? Like,
I have not. I've been told that I should.
Oh. Okay.
But no, I feel like, this sounds cheesy, but I feel like those four walls in the gym healed me. The friends I've made there have healed me and built me up. And I just feel like this is my outlet. Now when I get upset about something, I'm not turning to food or alcohol or anything else. I'm like, let's go for a run. Let's go get a workout in. And it helps clear my mind and I can look at things differently. And, in a run too, there's a lot of time for like self-reflection and meditation. And I'll come back and say, okay, maybe I was wrong in that situation or this is what I can do for this. And I find that that's been my therapy.
Yeah. No, that's like really cool. I mean, the fact that even in the toxic relationship and being isolated, I mean, the fact that you didn't even go to therapy, but you were able to make these changes, that can be difficult for some people. It's kind of hard. I mean, even to say, okay, I don't want to drink anymore. Like, was that just, again, a personal decision? How were you able to navigate food? Like,
well, I did reach out to some coaches at the gym and like, oh, what should my eating look like? And I had some guidance with that. And then the drinking it's hard to get up and work out in the morning if you're hungover. So the more that I kind of got into the fitness journey, the less I wanted to do things that made it harder. Yeah. And now it's like, no, I want to make sure I eat my protein and drink my water so that I can, have the best workout or the best run. And it just that happens slowly as well, but it does happen.
Okay. And it sounds like you kind of switch, I don't want to say coping mechanisms, but you switch those things, like those different vices. Like I put the drink down, but I'm going to make sure my food is prepared correctly or whatever. So how does that home life look now with your daughters? I mean, they've seen those two different versions of you.
Yes.
What are their thoughts? What are they saying?
My little one, Caroline, she's 6. She thinks that I'm the strongest person in the whole family, which I agree with her. And I mean, my older daughter, she always tells me she's so proud of me. And I mean, hearing that from her just, makes my day, makes my life. So, and they want to run on the treadmill, and Caroline wants to do CrossFit when she's old enough. And so they have been super supportive too.
And that's good. And you're making these healthy habits for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it starts with mothers. I've read something where it was saying that, if the mother's taking care of herself, then like the children will.
Yes.
Like you're the matriarch for the family,
Yes.
So yeah.
And I just want them to have a healthy relationship with food. Like I always refer to it as like we want to fuel our bodies and not, there's no good food or bad food. If you want the ice cream, eat the ice cream. It's not going to make or break you. And, I'm always like, oh, we have to make sure we have protein with our meal because protein will give you big muscles. So I try very hard not to make it about size or weight or good or bad so that they grow up with a healthy relationship.
That's good. And so you said you're getting ready for a run, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's a half marathon.
It's a half marathon.
Okay. Oh, congratulations. I don't know if I could do something like that. I used to have to run in the military, and that was just enough for me.
Yeah.
But no, that is awesome. So again, what advice would you have to a woman who's maybe in a toxic situation, in a toxic relationship? What would you say to her?
I would say no matter how you do it, get out. You're worth more than that. You deserve more than that. And if I can do it, I left my ex-husband. I had no job. I sold my jewelry and any handbag that was worth money to pay the first month's rent for me and my daughters. And if I can do that, anybody can do that. And it gets better. The other side is beautiful and it's worth it. And it's worth the struggle. I've had many sleepless nights over money and, just everything. And you get to that other side. You get to it. And if you can survive a relationship like that, you can do anything.
That is good. I just have to say, I feel like the message this entire past month has been surrender. And that's what it sounds like for you. It's like you have to sacrifice this old life to get this new one.
Yes.
And you've made a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah. But the payout has been worth it.
That is good. Yeah. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. This has been a fascinating conversation. And I'm sure this is going to encourage a woman out there or even a man, because men also go through situations as well. So get out of it. Get out of that toxic situation. There's better on the other side.
Yes.
And join a CrossFit community.
Yes.
CrossFit seems to be the thing. And
join CrossFit Whip and Saginaw.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.